Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of my Lewis Hamilton career mode here on F1 24, and once again back with the improved AI mod. Now guys, the previous episode will be linked in the top right. Go watch it. Spoiler warning ahead. I don't want to reveal too much, but let's just say it was a really fun race at the Spanish Grand Prix and the AI mod was working to perfection, and it's really brought this series back to life. Now, we start off with the post-fallout from the previous episode, Verstappen extending his lead in the championship, and we fall behind for the first time in a while as he actually goes into P1. We tried our best, but it wasn't to be, and also you can see we're pretty much, one-upping Lando Norris in the McLaren battle. Now, generally, not a lot to rave about as we return from that episode. We are going to invest some R&D points, and I noticed the engine upgrades are extremely cheap and have huge upgrades or discounts on them. So we're going to purchase one for power, one for the ERS, and another for fuel efficiency. So really improving the engine side of things, and we're going to jump hopefully to the top of the chart, which is massive for us. Now, we have a secret meeting, and of course we've had two so far this season, one with Aston and I believe another one with Red Bull. This time, it's the old friends at Mercedes who want to have a little chat with the 9-time world champion Lewis Hamilton, looking to reform that partnership. Who would be the teammate? Who knows? Either way, comparatively, the McLaren is just a stronger car, the better package, and as we have done, we'll decline talks because this is Hamilton's final year in Formula One. So,
the team are delighted you've been so loyal, declining all these meetings. They wanted me to tell you that they see you as key to the team going forward. Just don't get too comfy, otherwise I'll be out of a job.
Now you can see our suit is looking a bit different compared to just a moment ago. We were in orange, but now we are in red and white because we have a special livery for this home Grand Prix.
Okay, mate, I'm pleased to say that our new parts have come through without any issue, so they'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
Now, Red Bull have been nerfed this weekend, so again, they must have brought a few upgrades and they've been shot right back down. Look how close things are getting in the performance chart. The top 5 teams now, extremely competitive. Haas, Alpine, Sauber, or in this case, Audi, VCarb, all closing the gap. It's only really Williams at the bottom, but things are really getting tight. Now, the forecast is dry this weekend, and you can see in the championship, Verstappen has an 8-point lead, but we still lead the constructors by 21 points over Red Bull. So we do have both championships up for grabs. Now, that aside, let's talk about updates for this weekend, and the main one being the car. Now, we also have, of course, the new race suits. Lando and I showcasing those beautifully. I'll leave a link down below, guys, to the mod. It's an already existing one, but I made some tweaks with the sponsors. But you can see we have brought the chrome and red back to McLaren for this one-off race at Silverstone as a special. Possibly might bring it back for another race, possibly the finale, who knows. Or either way, a very lovely looking car. The chrome reflecting beautifully in the British sunlight, and the red really does pop, going back to that epic, Vodafone era of McLaren. Either way, jumping into practice and getting our race runs done as always. Currently P3, looking pretty sharp for pace, but we have a bit of a moment on our very last lap there.
Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can take you through the numbers.
Good job. Car was really nice to drive, super consistent. You can see on the tyre wear there we was matching 1-to-1 with the simulation rates. Fuel burn also pretty healthy. Pace wise, we got faster every single lap, but that mistake on the last lap just cost us a little bit of time. So job done, really good practice session and no complaints as the car was pretty well fine-tuned. However, by the end of FP2, Lando setting the pace. However, we finished last, way down the bottom. So, yeah, albeit on mediums, not something to read too much into. We are going to replace the ICE, which is a bit second-hand. Everything else is in relatively good nick. So, yeah, weekend underway, car, suit looking good. But now it's time for qualifying.
A one-time airfield fully owned by cars in this era. One of the finest ribbons of racetrack anywhere on Earth. It's high speed, it's dramatic, it's Silverstone.
Now we begin qualifying, of course, short quali from the last episode, changing the format, and 3 runs is going to be the run plan for this episode or this race weekend. Currently behind Alonso on track, who's on the end of, I believe, an installation lap. We're going to make our way through the final few corners, closing out our first attempt. 125.3 up to second, but 0.6 off Max Verstappen. So we head on to our second attempt, and I know where the mistakes were. My battery deployment wasn't particularly great, so we're going to try and put that straight using a bit of battery before the lap starts, so it doesn't actually count towards the deployment burn on this lap. Braking at the 50 for turn 3, picking up a late apex to try and set up, crucially, turn 4 and the exit as we head on to the Wellington Straight. 2 tenths up as we eventually cross the split in sector 1. Now then into Brooklands at the 50, down to 4th for a late apex, and then open up Luffield, get on the apex and try to stay tight, and then open up the wheel on the exit and let the car accelerate as we now go flat out across the old pit straight, and we head into Copse, which is easy flat. No lift of the throttle, the engine notes you're just hearing the cutting out as the car bottoms out, and now into Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel, all flat through here. Now a little bit of a lift and a downshift, literally no braking required, and then DRS open using battery as we're over half a second up as we now look to close out the lap here in sector 3. Into Stowe, 6th gear, just kiss the inside curb to rotate the car, and now the final chicane, brake at the curb, down to 4th gear, running a little bit deep, so we have to try and pull it back on the second, but we lose the back end as a result. Up to the line we go, and we improve by 4 tenths and move into P4 behind Norris, Russell and Verstappen. So you can see less than 2 tenths off pole right now, so looking pretty decent, pretty handy around here. The middle sector's purple, the big loss in sector 1. We have to try and find a couple of tenths through there. So 30 seconds on the clock, final attempt in qualifying. Let's get stuck in.
And that's just 30 seconds left in the session.
I can't lie, that was an absolute belter. A brilliant lap time. Really didn't feel like there was a lot left on the table there. That was a really good effort. Verstappen on pole by a tenth. George Russell, Lando Norris behind. So 3 Brits in the top 4 places. Can any of them stop Verstappen? Tsunoda, the MVP in qualifying, finishing P5 in the DHL Haas. And Hulkenberg also in the top 10 as Sainz and also Stroll lose a lot of ground. Either way, a fun qualifying, but now it's time for a home race at Silverstone.
We meet again at Silverstone for one of the great Formula One races of the entire calendar. With a barely believable capacity crowd creating a phenomenal atmosphere, it is time for a race that puts a smile on your face. It is time for the British Grand Prix. Silverstone Circuit is comprised of 18 corners, 3.6 miles, with DRS detection zones at Village and Maggots. Your overtaking opportunities at the end of the Wellington and Hangar Straights. You've got to be brave on the throttle in order to succeed here. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Norris, Tsunoda, Gasly, Leclerc, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Hülkenberg, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Ocon, Ricciardo, Bottas, Zhou, Teo Porcher, Behrman, Albon, and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me, a real authority on all things motor racing. It's a warm welcome back to Anthony Davidson. Well, they're having a better time than their teammates so far this year. How do you keep that momentum going? I love this moment in the weekend. Put us in their shoes right now. What are they feeling on the grid?
You've got to know, you've got to have a pre-race game plan. You've watched videos before you get into the car of previous races gone by. You know where you have to place your car if X, Y, or Z happens in front of you or behind you. So having this clear game plan is absolutely essential before you get in the car.
Here we go then. Time for the home Grand Prix. Silverstone, front row start. Max Verstappen on pole. It's going to be all the ingredients you need to have a good race, a fun race, and a bit of magic. Could it be 2021 all over again? We're going to find out. Anyway, for this one, definitely the aggressive tyre compound choice seems to be the way to go. Softs and mediums work really well around here. You can go on hards, but generally the medium is the race tyre. So we're looking forward to hopefully having a good second stint. Fuel, I'm going for 2 extra laps of fuel, the highest I've ran ever. This is going to be a precautionary measure to hopefully be able to go flat out the whole race and finally not have a race where we have to manage fuel. We're going to try and keep up with Max. I think it's going to be super quick, but with the home crowd behind, I think anything's possible, and we need a win for the championship to keep things open. So let's get into it and let's see what happens. Every point matters at this stage with this new mod. Every race is critical, and I'm loving this right now. This crew is a lot of fun again because the mod's made it really exciting, and I'm genuinely pushing flat out like a league race pretty much every single lap. So let's get into it and let's see what happens at Silverstone. Right, let's line up everybody on softs. So it's going to be equal conditions. Tsunoda the outlier in P5. 2 McLarens in the top 4. Russell up there as well. Let's line her up and let's try and point the car to the inside. And let's get to this. Got pushed back. Either way. Let's try and get a good launch. Lights on. Not too bad. Russell with the jump into turn 1, but we hold 3rd. That's not bad. Verstappen crucially holds the lead, which is not what I want. Leclerc up to 4th. Norris down to 5th, so both McLarens losing out on this first lap. Verstappen already trying to make a break. Russell looking to respond. Let's see if we can try and hopefully get our 2nd place back and then be the ones to try and race against Verstappen today. That's the objective. It's going to be the same strategy for everyone, soft medium, barring a safety car or anything to kind of disrupt things a bit. Car bottoming out there quite a bit through turn 1. I'm going to try and see if I can cut or turn in a bit earlier to get the nose into the corner. At the moment, really leaning on the battery as we kick out into the hangar straight. Straight line speed seems to be, again, like with this new AI mod, a bit low, but not terribly low, so we can definitely manage. Lap 1 though draws to a close. Down a place, but still in the fight, and that's all that matters. Russell's flashing like crazy. I don't know if he's low on battery or trying to charge, but at the minute we're keeping up. There's Russell flashing again, so he's definitely maybe a bit low on battery. Verstappen being restrained by him for now. No one's getting away here. I am definitely, I'd say, more on the defensive. I'm trying to hang on rather than attack at the moment, but hopefully the race will come to us in a few laps time. Gap over a second. Russell burning battery. Our car's bottoming out through there, not a good thing. I'll burn, so we'll just creep back into DRS, but we are on the limit here of getting dropped. It's mainly just because of the straight line speed as we pick up our first warning. Verstappen's pulling Russell along at a very strong pace. This is why I wanted second and not third. Oh my god, 2 warnings quickly. Alright, we've got to keep it clean now. I can do this. I've done it before. Same as the last lap. Getting dropped through there. I've got no battery left. This is everything. I think we just held on there. Just. And I was so close to a time penalty. I'm literally on the limit here. I need Russell to attack Verstappen to battle. Otherwise, this will be it. This will be the last lap. We stay in DRS. I mean, I can't keep up and I've got no battery left. So this is it. And there we go. We're out. Tried to push that braking zone, but I don't think we're going to get it. No, we don't. Right then. We'll have to concede for now and let those two get away. The reality of us lacking pace is showing again. We're holding up a small train of cars behind as well.
Lewis. Okay, Russell's ahead. We can't let them hold us up for too long, so let's try and get past as soon as possible and crack on. Push, push.
Are you watching the same race, mate? He's getting away. It's the other way around. Don't let Leclerc overtake, although here he goes. With the battery, I can't really respond to that. Just don't have any answers to that sort of straight line speed. Now Lando Norris queuing up behind. We'll try and take a bit of a recharge behind Leclerc if possible. It's not going to be easy though, because Lando's going to want to get by. Like so. I'm not going to fall into that game. We're just going to take that recharge, play the long-term game here. I just need Russell and Verstappen to battle. But at the minute, you know, it's just Verstappen running his incredible pace, pulling George along. I just can't charge any battery. This feels like the old F1 games, these sort of races. Norris goes through. On Leclerc, I think we get a hit in the rear, I'm pretty sure. I just got tagged or I hit a bump on the road. It felt like a hit in the rear. Either way, the front two still unchanged. And it probably will remain that way. Pit phase here will be key. Oh wow, what a run from Tsunoda. We can defend this. But I was pretty similar speed there to Leclerc, just that Tsunoda got an incredible run onto the hanger straight. Verstappen has dropped Russell, I think, so Russell might start dropping back. Russell out of DRS.
Okay, the incident's been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. Come on.
Yellow further back. Obviously won't mean much. We never get safety cars in this career mode, so I don't think that will change much. One of the Audis, Joe Guanyu, out of the race. I might try and put the safety car in increased from now on and see how that makes a difference.
Okay, mate, that still wasn't quite what we needed, I'm afraid. But look, let's move on. Get your head down and chin up and focus till the end of the race.
Yep, that was never going to happen.
Approaching the pit window, and you're going to be on mediums.
Although we are closing in on George now. He's getting closer now that he's been dropped by Verstappen. Perez also on his way back through. Tsunoda losing a bit of time now, not able to keep up as easily. Things are starting to open up a little bit now. But look how close the fuel spread is, by the way. All of us almost on this straight. So I mean, Max is quick, but he's not exactly just driving off. It's still just very fine margins. Leclerc having a look. So go back through on Norris here. And gets it. Aggressive move. Perez battling with Tsunoda behind. We need to watch out for Checo. He'll be quick in that Red Bull. Can't forget that car is very quick now since the post-mod update.
Okay, Lewis, Lando's ahead of you now. Right, let's go. Let's try and get past them and put them on the back foot. Push, push.
That's a bit more realistic. Although the pit stops might put a bit of an end to that, but It's definitely more doable. Feel like it might be worth making a chase for George, who's right there. Yeah, I think we might have a shot here, although I'll say that Lando might turn the battery up now and drive off to Leclerc. He's clearly a bit low on battery. He's not super quick, but he is going to go for Leclerc, although he decides against it. Maybe, just maybe.
Oh, mate, you made that look easy. Nice work. That's why I love working with you. Smashed it.
There we go. That's what I wanted.
Okay, we're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
Right, Leclerc next. Let's see if we can try and pass him with DRS, maybe. That'd be nice. I think it might be on the next straight though, before we enter the pits. And that way get a nice slingshot onto Russell before the pits. Try and get the yeses spot on. A little bit wide of the apex there.
Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't speed.
We'll go around the outside. I think I've got a wheel in the grass, which isn't going to help, but we go through and now we'll box Leclerc with us. So crucially, we beat him into the pits. So that's a good move. Lando will go long. Russell Verstappen in. Hopefully Max might get helped by Russell here. I think he did. Max had a slow stop as well, I'm pretty sure. We need a good one. Come on. Good stop. We got held slightly there by Alonso, but it's a good stop. I think Russell got held because look how close he is right in front of us. So Russell losing even more time. And Verstappen's not a million miles away. So it's back on. It definitely is back on. Leclerc's right behind us.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Not quite going to have DRS on George here, which is what I was hoping for, but he won't have DRS from Max this time, so we'll see if he can get away from us on raw pace. George just keeping me there, just out of a second. Verstappen's gone. I don't think he actually got held by Russell. Looking at the gap, I think he was fine. I think he had a smooth stop. No dramas. Now though, we're racing Norris here. On pit exit, we'll see what his in-lap was like. Trying to push here for this DRS on George so we can save battery as well behind him. Here we go. Just under a second. Brake late, and I think we've got it. Norris rejoins ahead of Leclerc, which is huge for the team. And we've got DRS on Russell, which is massive. So now we can just manage a little bit and get some battery back, hopefully. This is excellent now. We're going to get to save lots of battery. Verstappen isn't getting away. Russell's running a really good pace. Just like in the first stint, on the fresh tyres he's very quick. We're pulling away from Lando and Leclerc. Best lap is a 27.1, so we can definitely also try and go for that extra point once I've got some charge. Oh, Stroll out. Will that be a safety car VSC maybe? Probably not. As expected. Right, we're going to pass George here. Not definitively. This is to try and set the fastest lap of the race, so we just need to go a couple of tenths quicker. Tyre wear is kicking in, so I want to try and get this done now. So with this slingshot, we should be able to go purple. This time we don't dip a wheel in the grass around the outside, so we'll use the battery we've got. Try and get into the 26s. That should hopefully lock down the extra point. There we go. That should do it. Now we just got to try and finish second place in this race. That's the target. Verstappen's exact same pace as us pretty much on these tyres in the stint, but he's obviously got the gap now, so he's just chilling at the moment. I won't let Russell by immediately. I'll just run my pace and see what I'm like without trying to use battery.
Okay, Lewis, we need to save up some ERS, so let's focus on charging it up, please.
That's exactly what I plan on doing, mate. Right, we'll let George go. Not going to fight this. We'll just show him the outside, the high line, and then he can go. Just like that. Let's hit that recharge target and go for one last push at the end. Max is really getting the hammer down now. Starting to show his true pace. Right then, we're going to try and get George. I feel like I've got the pace to go here, so we're going to have a look, get through and try to pull away. Here we go. For second place, the RS Open. We opt for the outside line again. And through we go. Now, can we pull away? That's the big question. Obviously the win's off the table, but a second with the fastest lap would be a brilliant result. At the moment it hasn't been the best last sector, but we'll try and stretch our lead now through here and try to create a gap. And pulling away, gap just ticks over a second briefly there. Now back under a second, but we're still running the pace at a good rate. We'll try and drop through here. I think Russell just held on. Let's see, I'll try and push for one more zone, even though I'm running a bit thin on battery now. We have dropped him and we're hanging on for now. Let's see if I can try and manage now for the last 2 laps. He got back in. I just let him in. That's a shame. I thought I had the pace, but not quite enough. The battery is just a key element. So George will close in through here. We'll try and recharge for the last lap. Here we go then, last lap of the race. George lurking but not committing. And we're going to trust my ability here to keep him behind. We may even tactically let him go on this one to have the RS for the hanger straight. We won't make it easy, we'll give him a squeeze to make sure he doesn't gain much time. There he goes. Washes up a bit high, but that's okay. And now, we just try to make it uncomfortable for him. Got a 50% charge, which is plenty. Managed to save quite a nice bit. Verstappen's really got away in this phase of the race. Right then, here we go. Let's set this up. Just got to wait now. We've done all the hard work. Got the fastest lap, everything's prepared. I'm ready to go. And now, we let it go. Russell burning battery though, to be fair. He's got something up his sleeve. Now we're catching. Up the inside we go. That's P2. Well driven, Verstappen wins at Silverstone and extends his championship lead. And we once again limit the damage with the P2 plus fastest lap combination.
Mega job, everyone. Great job with the pit stop. Things will continue to push. It was just too quick for us today. But let's keep pushing, man. It's getting closer.
You've heard this one before. Max Verstappen takes the victory.
And now with 4 race victories in a row, it shows the power that they have, this stranglehold on the championship, and it's for the others to try and stop them before it's too late.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be proud of the victory they've secured here.
There we go then, confirmation of Verstappen victory. We finished in P2 in the chrome and red McLaren with the fastest lap of the race, and George Russell rounds up the podium with Lando Norris in P4. So no change to the top 4 positions after all that race. So there's your lot. We'll take it. Good points. We limit damage in the championship, and that's all I can ask for at this stage. Speaking of which, the gap 14 points. Heading into, I believe, the final 5 or 6 rounds, I want to say. I think it's 5. Lando third, just starting to flirt with being eliminated from championship contention. Perez now up to 4th as well. Russell 5th with that 3rd place finish. In the Constructors, we're 19 ahead of Red Bull, so we still have that up our sleeve. So both championships up for grabs. So we'll see how that all pans out, guys. So yeah, in the meantime, in the background, you're going to have the post-race fallout as always. Of course, driver stats should be positively affected after that one. Also, because of the secret meeting, I feel like we might gain on Lando in terms of recognition. And yeah, also, of course, specialist bonuses are staying at level 3 maxed out. So guys, that's the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. A big shout out to the members of the channel for supporting the content and the videos. And you guys, I'll see you in the next one very, very soon. As always, check out the 2 other videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care. And let's go back from me. Ciao.